Hello, hello. Here we are. I wanted to talk a little bit about the full moon in Aquarius. Because I think it's going to be an important one. It's about Aquarian energy is about expansion, expansion, innovation, great clarity. And in Leo time, it's combined with the courage to be innovative, to be expansive. And in the sort of revelation of the full moon, to see what's holding you back, because you'll need courage and that higher Aquarian perspective to both make the change and ride the change. Because I was watching somebody today who was an astrologer, somebody very well versed in astrology, was talking about this full moon. And one of the things she said, which I thought was spot on, was that it's not a time to micromanage. You don't micromanage the universe. There is a degree of surrender to it, to that Aquarian higher perspective. It's not about you, or me. So don't micromanage the universe. That was a biggie. And then the other image that I had was just, when you're seeing if you can pick up a pan or, a plate that's been heated in the oven and you're trying to figure out if you can pick it up and you touch it quickly. And there's something about that in terms of a situation where we're just going to involve, really quickly assessing, almost by your body's reaction, whether it's something you should back off from. Because when it's hot, we back off, and then we go let it cool down. It takes time. So there's something about that, and I'm not sure it's about temper. It might be, but Leo is a fire sign, so there is this fiery element. Passionate, not in a bad way, but just, there's a little bit of that in the mix. And the other thing I came across was a definition for Two of Swords, and I don't know where I got it, but it was one I was startled by at the time, and startled again when I found it again, and that's that Two of Swords can be to talk about it. It may be a clash of words, but it's about speech. So it's crossroads, Two of Swords, so maybe it means like talking about a decision that could really flip it one way or the other. And I think that's it, although I'm getting the feeling I'm forgetting something. Let's just see what we got. Don't micromanage. Go with it. You don't have that much control. You have a bit. You can line up. You can get aligned. First card out. Page of Pentacles. This is a little tangible offer of something, you can get your hands on, and so can the person offering it. It can be like a building block. It can be sort of a proposition. How about that? How about this one? And it's something that makes somebody happy and fulfilled. Nine of Cups. Those nines speaking to the personal. This person is gratified, satisfied. It can sometimes be seen as a card of indulgence in your pleasures, you know, drinking too much or partying too much, or, you know, being a glutton or being lazy. But that's not what I get. I don't get that off this. I think it's going to make somebody happy. This is a dream come true card. You know, for you. Basically, that's how I interpret that 9. For the person I'm reading for, talking to. This offer will make you happy. It may be small, but you sense it's the beginning of something that will grow. Pentacles are about growth. This is sort of like the seed. Somebody offering the seed. Can we grow this? And I think it makes you happy. Let's see. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles. Again, I think this is you. And it may be you making a small offer. Well, let's just let it play out. This is an earth sign. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Doesn't have to be. Somebody who embodies the characteristics of stability, groundedness. They're a caretaker. It can be a card of the mother, and not so much in the biological sense, but just somebody who sees over the people around her. Again, in 3D, that's her. She lives and breathes Pentacles energy, stable, lovely, grounded. And there it is. The Two of Swords we just talked about. It ordinarily means a block, a crossroads, a decision that needs to be made. But let's add in the idea that it's a conversation. You know, two people determining, and then it doesn't look like they're in agreement necessarily. It often, I see it as a card where both things are contradictory, but both things are true. You know, they contradict, but they're both a truth. They're talking it out, you know, to sort of remove the blindfold. An exchange of truths. So tell me about this conversation. What are the two truths? What is Queen of Pentacles truth, for starters? Spirit. Okay. Queen of Pentacles is about ending a cycle, laying down a burden, lightening up. Hangman. This way. This is not moving. You know, it's a card of Pisces, so it's a water sign. It's somebody taking a time out to figure out what they feel, to be enlightened by it. And moreover, to see it from the perspective, a different perspective, and often of the perspective of the other person. So this is an ending, a wrapping up of a cycle. And it may be two people talking out to get rid of that block, what needs to be let go of. And I'd say it could be the relationship, but it's a wish fulfillment. It's making somebody, filling every cup. I mean, that's interesting, and I'm not quite sure. That was on Two of Swords. So it's a discussion that will involve, you know, it won't be rapid fire, let's figure this out, we'll ask each other a bunch of quick questions. It's going to take this kind of deep emotional consideration that also entails, you know, being in the other guy's shoes, knowing what the other guy would feel. And this will happen through this exchange. That will be clarified. And there will be, you know, a lot of things wrapped up. Under Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, we have Six of Pentacles. And I think that's somebody, something coming into balance between two people. It's offer of help. It might be three people. But it's somebody, you know, providing nourishment, Pentacles energy. Something that, you know, is concrete help. It's not just sort of like thoughts and prayers. This is something real and valuable. And it may be an influx of money. I mean, I almost never read it that way, but, you know, you've got this too, what do you call it? Like startup cost. The amount you invest a bit in order to have it grow. Because Pentacles are about growth, and we've gone to a multiple of 6. But there is something about the different, you know, that always bugs me about the Rider-Waite image of the two beggars. I don't like that very much. But under Page of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. This can be an opportunity, you know, for something. It's almost like for something tangible, but like an opening of some kind. And it may, I don't know, I never read for money. But this is somebody who's in great abundance. It may not be money, but it's she wants for nothing. And she has enough to share. Enough to share. There's a bit of sort of like largesse, or, you know. And somebody, I mean, this is an authentic person. It's not like the kind of person who would piecemeal somebody. She's the real deal, real Pentacles. And it's like paying it forward. You know, you get, you're abundant. You know, you've sort of had this seed. Maybe somebody gave you an opportunity that offered a leg up kind of thing. Starter money, I'm hearing. And she would do that. She's generous. She, he, they. They're abundant. They care about other people. They're in the sort of feminine aspect of the highest expression of Pentacles energy, which is stability, real, all about growth. And you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 cards on the board out of, well, half of them are Pentacles cards. So something real and tangible, but something has to be wrapped up first. Other concerns, you know, that weren't your own properly. People have, like, you know, laden you with a lot of responsibilities. And you're letting that go. Okay. Let's look at this first offering, Page of Pentacles, just to get us started. It's not. Here we go. Thank you. Okay. On Page of Pentacles, we have Star. So this little, I mean, it's interesting, this little tangible, like a energetic down payment is backed up by, or leads to, or is the, the cost of this huge Aquarian energy of healing. And I say like this because Aquarius is about the bigger picture, the overview, and in fact, what's good for the group. What's good for the group? Because there is this idea of the leg up, the sharing, Six of Pentacles, the deep feelings. And this is air sign clarity. It's also a card of healing. So this little thing, Page of Pentacles, within the, it's like within the acorn is the oak. That's sort of this being the acorn. Just the little seed that can grow into this glorious, celestial energy of the overeye. On Nine of Cups, we have Queen of Cups. So either Queen of Cups is somebody's wish fulfillment, or she's getting her wish fulfillment. We do have two queens on the board. One is about the feelings energy, and the other is about acting it out in the material world. It's love made visible, incarnate, open-hearted, full of feelings in this guy's energy. Perhaps there's been a new perspective on what you feel that gives you everything your heart's desire. And you're Queen of Cups, so you would know, it's not a card of gluttony or whatever I was saying. It's deep satisfaction. On Queen of Pentacles, Page of Wands. We're getting some repeats from, I think it was yesterday, the man boy. The person who at long last has found a new direction. Usually pages are youthful. This person has been looking for a sense of direction for a long time. But they've found it. They've found it, and it's firing them up. And it might be this Queen of Pentacles who's found a new way, a new approach. It took a long time, but I think it's somebody finding their way to her. They've gotten the direction, but it sort of aged them. That something happened that blocked it. And whatever that, because that's fire energy, that's a wand, out it goes. There's been, you're making room by taking out what you don't need for this man boy, maybe, to come in. Queen of Pentacles is mature. She's value and established in the sense of time and age to the point of stability. It doesn't mean she's old necessarily, but she's an old soul. This is a young soul, but it's taken them a long time to find the direction. And I think there's maturation, but 2 pages on the board. New growth, new approach. And on 2 of Swords, wow, 5 of Swords. I'm getting fighting for your life. That's a newie for me. But it's a fight. It's an argument. It's a battle of some kind, and it's over. And maybe there was a decision made to fight for your life. Maybe this conversation, this sword energy that's going to be decisive was something that had to be spoken. Somebody may have said, I'm fighting for this. You know, it may not be like fighting for your life, but fighting for the relationship, fighting for the new thing. Because we do have this star card, the Aquarian card, that is so pure. It's about ending up where you need to be. Not need to be, but where you belong. You know, your heart's desire, that 9 of Cups. So somebody in this exchange, there may be a decision to fight, to like join forces with somebody. To fight for something. And the next card out was High Priestess. This is a card of Pisces. I see it also as Cancer. It's the feminine energy, the moon energy. And High Priestess does not reveal. I mean, she sees through the veil. You know, she's a mystic. But she can't, you know, go blah, blah, blah. That's what's on the other side of the veil. It's the mystery. She can see into it. She doesn't talk about it. You know, she's highly intuitive. And I think it's interesting because we're getting such a mix, because the next card out is 3 of Swords. The sword energy is challenging, apart from the star card, Aquarius. That's the major arcana, and it trumps the other guys. So whatever this kind of contention is, of having to fight for something, maybe in this conversation having to, you know, having to fight for something. So that, you know, these sort of troubled sword energies are trumped literally by the major arcana card of Aquarius, which is healing. So it seems to me whatever is spoken about, that has to be spoken about in the sharp sword way, that may involve a clash of beliefs or opinions or ways of looking at a situation. And it's hurtful, or there's something divisive about it. This is a card of separation, and so is this. This is a battle, you know, with apparent winners and losers. But that appearance is deceptive somehow, because in a 3 of Swords situation, nobody wins. You know, it's hurtful all the way around, and it might involve, sometimes it does, a third party. You know, somebody or something that gets in the way of a connection. Okay, and that's interesting, because here we have the one who sees through the veil. And Hermit, another card of, highly spiritual card of enlightenment. Hermit withdraws in order to gain a wisdom or a lesson, an understanding, an enlightenment. The guiding light that really can only be seen in isolation, in a kind of dark. It's like a dark night of the soul almost. You know, where you in that state of deprivation, solitude, you see the light in the darkness. I'm not explaining it very well. But that's the guiding light. You can follow this path. And it's based on your own inner compass, your own intuition. I mean, off the charts in terms of spiritual power. But she doesn't talk about it. She just sees through the veil. And this character has to withdraw to get the understanding. And it makes sense to me to withdraw from this kind of sword cray-cray, which is all about mental confusion and argument and inability to understand and being at cross purposes with somebody. But there is this sense of the crossroads. You know, things could change. Ideas, beliefs, you know, it's not like it's written in stone when it's just spoken. It can be modified through conversation. But the grounding influences here say this is really whatever this conversation or altercation is about. Apparently, it's a deeply spiritual. You know, it has its roots, and both of you are highly intuitive old souls. So in a way, you're a match. But there's a degree of sort of not removal, really, but it's almost like the spirit, you know, you're both tuned in to what can't be seen. And that can make the 3D thing a little tricky. Because sometimes then there's the pull of the 5D and the idea that you never need to bring it into reality because you can see this person, you know, through the veil. It's like you see their light. You see their light, and they see you through the veil. But you also want to bring it into 3D, where you can touch it, where you can feel it, taste it. And I'm getting the feeling of just great sweetness. It's almost like I grew up in Maryland, and there was honeysuckle there that I think it's different from the honeysuckle up north, because there are these little, the stamens, the little things that have the pollen on the end, and you could pull them out if you just pulled very gently and it didn't break. There'd be this little tiny drop of sweetness, and you could, I mean, it was like the smallest. You know, I remember thinking as a kid, this is like a fairy taste. It's so tiny and so sweet. I don't know why I'm like in this place, so deeply in feelings, head over heels by the sweetness of, I think, bringing this thing into the material world. Because I think whoever you guys are, you've been communicating in 5D, like in the dreamscape, in that fifth dimension of, you know, telepathy and stuff like that. That kind of stuff. But there's a confirmation of like, yes. Because this is a new way of knowing. Ace of Swords. And it may be that telepathic thing is now, you're aligned with it, so that you can bring it into, God, I feel like I'm, this is clear speech. But you may not be used to it yet. You know, there may be some, because it's an ace, it's new. But on Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, you know, it's both, it's this energy, the Aquarian energy of the overview, and it's this energy, the earth energy of Hermit, Virgo. There's something about behind the veil, seeing through the veil with that light. And here's the light again. The guiding light. The guiding light. Hermit lights the path. And if this is, the High Priestess sees beyond the veil, this is like an illumination, being able to see it more brightly. And look at the Ace of Pentacles. I mean, it's a pentacle, but it's like, it's bright, it's shiny, it's new. It's new. Yeah, it's new. After the cycle closes out. And I think it's a cycle to do with this Piscean energy. Because when you do the deep dive this way, you know what you feel, including what you can let go of. There's a freedom in it. Tell us about this Ten of Wands, please. What are we laying down? Somebody is. I think it's the man boy. And I really don't mean disrespect by that, but I think it's fascinating. It's sort of somebody at long last finding their way. We are laying down Four of Pentacles. This is an energy of being stubborn, of hanging on, of protecting your resources, of holding back as well as hanging on. It's a stuck energy. That's on 10 of Wands. So what you're laying down is that need, that insecurity that somebody is, that makes you need to hang on. Oh, that's interesting. That was the Four of Pentacles. This is the Four in Major Arcana, Emperor. Card of taking control. And it's on this card of deep feelings. So this can sometimes have a tinge of the autocrat. It's my way or the highway kind of thing. But in their best aspect, in the best energy of Emperor, is somebody who rules, the people who are within his reach. Who's a leader. It's a card of Aries. Also a sun sign. We're in Leo time, but, this is somebody who's empowered, who knows what they want, who knows how to get it, but also knows how to delegate. Emperor's not afraid of other empowered people. And in fact, he'll empower other people. It's not like this guy thinks he can do it all by themselves. Male or female, this is an energy of the big boss who delegates. The best kind of boss you've ever had. The most, I've had like one just stellar boss. And again, remember I said delegate? It isn't the autocrat. This is a card of sharing. And among other things, in the material world, sharing energy, sharing responsibility, delegating, giving it out to, and it's a card of empowering too, because these guys, who are kind of in a state of lack are getting help. Emperor would do that. Not out of their own nature of wanting to have things run smoothly and care for people. And that actually was supposed to clarify Hangman. Well, the reason I liked it on Hangman was this is the card of deep feelings and flow, but suspension to figure something out. This is a card of action taking, of running the show. But if they're two together, you don't have a snick of autocrat. Because however this person is operating, the basis for it is that they've processed their feelings. They're not afraid of feeling. And they're able to look at it from this other perspective, like what it means to be an emperor. So it's not rigid. Emperor is sometimes rigid, not in this case. And it's a fire sign. The Emperor, I think, has unburdened. And it may be through that ability to delegate. You know, something has lightened the Emperor's load. And it involves letting go of this super stability, because both are fours, Emperor in Major Arcana and this guy in Pentacles. And fours can speak to stability, and sometimes too much stability. You know, so stable you're weighed down, you're stuck. No, we're lightening the load. You know, so we can move. So we can move. World. You know, this is on to the next thing. Through the portal, wrapping something up, ending a certain cycle. Tens are the ending of the cycle. Aces are the beginning of the cycle. So it's wrapping up a cycle of sort of insecurity, I'd say. And ascending to kind of emperor status. I mean, that's a leap, let me tell you, because I think through the influence of this stable Queen of Pentacles person and their care and their willingness to share, Junior has turned into Emperor. I mean, that's you couldn't find a bigger leap. They're both fire signs. This is somebody who at long last has found their way into Emperor status, the action taker, the ruler, the leader. Card of Aries. But they're grounded in deep feelings. I mean, I think somehow over time, this Earth energy, Queen of Pentacles, you know, in the care of the Queen of Pentacles, this person has found, has been allowed to mature. Remember I said there was a mothering aspect to her? And it must be terrifically powerful because it brings the page into the highest expression of the action taker. She's a nurturer, and this person needed nurturing because they'd been at it so long trying to find the direction. And I think the direction was toward a loving, maybe be a water sign, or it may be that they're the water sign. But it's a wish fulfillment. We have wish fulfillment twice, 9 of Cups and Star. Okay, I'm just going to ask what accounted for this amazing change, and it's had something to do with all of this. Maybe just talking about all the hurt, all the separation, all the arguments. What was, I still don't get it. What was the contention? Because we have Page of Wands to Emperor and this definitive ending of one cycle and beginning of the next. It's like the dynamic is not the same. The people are not the same. They're emerging through the portal as something new. These double aces. All the cards indicate this forward movement. Nothing in here is regressive. And it's based on the guiding light principle. Being led to where you belong. I mean, you know, you may be feeling small. You may feel like your presence in the 3D is somehow small. It's not small. It's Aquarian big. I think whoever you are and whoever you're dealing with, you're like even Stephen in this rather amazing, the energies of the sage and the mystic. And it's something that you've been invested in and growing. And I think it's going to continue to grow in that Pentacles energy of over time becoming more and more stable, more and more abundant. You know, this is somebody who has worked on it and has the crop to harvest. It's harvest time. This may really go down in the fall. And I'm supposed to get one more on these double aces, please. The beginning, the real beginning. And it may be first an idea, Ace of Swords, and then somehow it becomes real. We got a couple. Yeah. Bottom of the deck, 10 of Cups. I mean, this is the full Monty. This is kind of paradise on earth for everybody. It's an inclusive love. And it's going the distance. There are kids here, there might be children involved. But I think it's more like the love has grown. You know, it's at its zenith. And it started in a past life or in childhood. And with the cups just accumulating. It's the only cups card. No, it's not. What am I saying? We have the 9 of Cups and the Queen of Cups. It's like the love grows, and it grows from personal satisfaction. I mean, it's a dream come true. And then, you know, suddenly it's the whole environment is the dream come true. From 9 to 10, things proceeding as they should. Love growing. And an incredible amount of mental, you know, faldy-roll. I don't know why I'm getting the word faldy-roll, but, you know, bunk, mental. Oh, shit. There we go. All that. The air is being cleared. And it not only is being cleared, it's being to crystal clarity. Very healing from all this contention. And the other two, oh God, I'm so butterfingers. It's time to stop. This is like picking the path. Getting ready to pass through the portal. Through the portal. And quickly, wands energy, wands are quick. So this is on the brink of it. Again, wands energy. Picking a direction, making a decision, knowing where you want to go and prepping for it. You know, in this guy's energy. Just so much fire in this reading. And this is the success. You know, whatever path is picked leads to a victory. After a battle. But things got talked out. And there was wisdom gained and so forth. And, you know, this is where it lands you. You're headed for it. And there's a victory. You know, picking the path, picking the purpose, being inspired, operating off your intuition, and it works. That's your destination. This is how do I get there? And you will successfully get there with the victory wreath. You're going to be proud and happy. And you're meeting somebody who just, in terms of that spiritual realm, you're equals. 6 of Pentacles. The way you show up in the world. And I think you're altruistic. Between the two of you, you bring a lot of abundance to other people. You know, You both embody this principle. This is a great match. This is sort of the caretaker, the emperor of the realm, and this is like the maternal aspect of that. Maternal and material. You know, something real and tangible. With some bumps in the middle, but don't be afraid of this conversation. It will clear the air to this Aquarian overview for both of you. And you'll end up where you belong. Where you belong. Follow the light. Follow the light. Hermit's light. And there's something about that in the rainbow, too. Prismatic light. I love you guys. Till next time.